Hello all, we are here for one more lesson of this VariCAD 2016 training course, and the topic for this lesson is constraints in solid creation. Basically I want to show you how to constrain profiles in 2D, and that way how can we influence and constrain the solids. So I will start to make a very easy solid as usual. So just making a rectangle and 100 in X, 50 in Y. Okay, a very easy shape. And I will make some fillets. For example, 5, and I will make a radius somewhere around here. 10. Okay, something like this. Now this is a very normal profile and normal 2D entities, no constraints. So now I will extrude. It can be 20, it really does not matter. I will select the profile and say the insertion point is around here. So extrusion done, so I have my solid. I have no constraints, the profile was perfectly normal, and it is now when I go to the function to edit the solid that I can insert my constraints in terms of the 2D entities. So edit, the system recognizes that this solid was made from a 2D profile, so confirm. And when I have this toolbar here, I have this function that says define constraints or parameters. Okay, and now I enter in this, it's not a special mode, but it's this look where I get this toolbar that says solid profile constraints, where I can insert the constraints in terms of the points. So I have a couple of possibilities. I will show you the main concepts, and these 4 start icons, 2 for X and 2 for Y, represent this constraining something in X direction relative to the center of coordinates, and this regarding an object, and the same for the other axis. So for example, constraining to the center of coordinates, I will open a selection window, so I get these 2 points, the vertices. Just say the OK, and I can select one of the vertices to say that one, and okay, it knows that I'm 100 millimeters away in X from the center of coordinates. And as before, when we see the constraining in the last lesson, I already mentioned for a couple of times that the interesting part of the constraining is to connect this with parameters, okay? Because this will allow you to change your model very easily, and you can connect this with mathematical expression that, besides the idea of just changing your model, you can have these relations that change your model on a way that you can predict. Okay, so I would say, for example, length, and just say the OK, and he understands that I have not this parameter, so create it, and the parameter is done. Okay, I can go back, and now I can say the other option, constraining an object regarding an object. So I can constrain this vertex here, and I can say regarding this point here, for example, and okay, he understands that this distance. I can say length A, for example. Okay. Sorry, I cannot. Sorry. Length, I cannot put that symbol. I have this value, I can change it and say, for example, 30, and go back, and I could do the same on the other direction. It's the same, no need to do it, just do the OK, confirm, and rebuild my model. So the interesting part of this now is if you come in this parameter table, now you can come and say, I want to change this, I want to put, for example, 80 millimeters, and apply the changes, and your model reacts as you expect. Okay, but we can do other kinds of constraining, and I can constrain also, besides the chamfers and the arcs and so on. I can constrain, for example, radius, and I can do something like saying I want to constrain this radius here, and I can say or let us start for this first, sorry, and I can say radius, and he knows that has 10 on the value, create it. And I can constrain also this one and say radius divided by 2, and saying, for example, this one, and radius divided by 3, for example. Okay, and just apply the changes. And again, if you go to the parameters, now you have some relations on these entities. Basically, if you change this value, for example, let us put a bigger value. I hope it allows you this value. Okay, it is okay. And you see the complete model was changed with this edition. So this is very easy to work with. And if you see here, you can have a couple of more addition possibilities, which are radial constraints regarding the center of coordinates or regarding an object. It is the same concept that we use here. For example, for a quick example, I can do something like this: the vertex regarding the center of coordinates. For example, let us say a bigger value, and go back and just do the OK, and it will make this kind of thing. Okay, I could put a parameter also. The possibilities are very are quite open to do this. And we can have these also regarding a redefinition of the coordinate system. I will not show you this. This is a little more confusing, so I will not share this information with you at this moment. And for the ones that think this may be interesting for them, please contact us or check our theoretical part, because this is a little confusing at this moment to show you. Here we can also edit an existing constraint. For example, I could edit this and change the conditions. And here I can delete the constraints, display the constraints, what we have. So basically these are informations. Check the dimensions of the profile, and these are display modes identical to functions we've seen in one of the previous lessons for the sketch mode. Okay, shaded or wireframe, and have these contours or profiles, thick or thin. So a couple of things: addition of the profile, set these extrusion heights without changing the constraining, and go back and change. Okay. This is quite easy to understand, and there is any more topics to understand regarding the constraints in 2D basically. And I will finish this lesson with one strong idea, which is if you compare this kind of constraining that you have in VariCAD, it's very different from the majority of the other softwares in the market, because you see that you can constrain what you want. You don't have the obligation to constrain everything, to have a very rigid profile. So you can just constrain one element, half of your profile, whatever you want. So this is very easy, very open, and very flexible, which in my personal opinion it is one of the big advantages of VariCAD regarding other systems, and in most of the cases much more powerful and expensive systems. So this is very easy, the idea, and if you understand the concept of this, you can take this very far away, and having your profiles and in consequence your solids also very flexible in every stage of your design process.